I focused on making sure the code was perfect and everything worked smoothly. I spent weeks optimizing every little detail. But when we launched, it was a spectacular failure. It really helps if there is someone you can always reach out to whenever you are stuck with something. Let me share 5 things I wish I had known before I started. Hey everyone, I'm Dhaval, co-founder at Airtribe and an engineer myself. I started my career as one of the early team members at HackerRank. Later on, I joined Rentomojo as a founding engineer. I worked there for 4.5 years and went on to leading the team as VP of engineering there. After that, I joined Unacademy as a senior engineering manager, where I met Navneet and we ended up co-founding Airtribe with a vision to build the strongest community of product builders. After a decade-long experience as an engineer, I always wonder if there were a few things I wish I had known before starting my first job. Things which would have made me a better engineer much more faster. But before I share that, let me tell you how I got my first job. So during my college placement, I actually got an offer from Yahoo in 2014. But the company was facing tough time and due to layoff, the offer fell through. Now here is where it gets interesting. HackerRank came to my college for hiring. Now I wasn't eligible for the placements because I had an offer from an A-grade company, Yahoo. Even though I wasn't eligible, I still appeared for the test and ranked first. The company reached out to me, but our super helpful placement team obviously asked me not to appear for the interview process. After some pleading, convincing and directly getting in touch with HR, I had my interview scheduled and secured my first job. Now that you know how I landed my first job, let me share 5 things I wish I had known before I started. Understanding business context is important. When I started out as a software engineer, I was all about writing code. I thought that if I could write great code, everything else would fall into place. But soon I realized that the understanding of the bigger picture, the business context, is equally important. Let me share a story. I was working on a new feature. I focused on making sure the code was perfect and everything worked smoothly. I spent weeks optimizing every little detail. But when we launched, it was a spectacular failure. It didn't get the engagement we expected. I was obviously frustrated with that. Then I had a chat with my manager and he told me that the feature didn't solve a real problem for our users. It wasn't aligned with what the business needed. And that was a big lesson for me. I realized that understanding the business goals and the needs of the user is crucial. It helps you take better decisions about what to build and how to build. So talk to your managers, product owners, and even the customers if you can. Learn about the company's goals and understand how your work fits into the bigger picture. Trust me, it will make you a lot better engineer. Become really good with your code editor. Your code editor is your primary tool and that's where you're going to spend a lot of time. So knowing ins and outs of your code editor will drastically improve your workflow. Learn keyboard shortcuts for common actions. Use advanced features like multi-cursor editing, split views, and integrated terminals. Install plugins and extensions to make your life easier. Explore extensions that can help you with code formatting, linting, and debugging. Set up a theme which is easy on the eyes and configure settings to match your coding styles. Integrate Git directly in your code editor to streamline your workflow, and there is a lot more you can do in the editor. It's a simple thing that has a big impact on your productivity. And it's an investment that will pay off every single day you code, and it will also make your coding experience much more enjoyable. You should learn to use Git effectively. Git is something that is used everywhere in development, and we all know the basics of Git like commits, branches, and merge. But going an extra mile and learning slightly more advanced concepts will set you apart from other developers. Things like instead of always merging, learn to rebase, understand how it helps you keep the history clean and linear, making it easier to follow. Understand how to squash and cherry pick commits. When you have a bug in your code and you aren't sure which commit caused that bug, you can use git bisect, which will help you find that exact commit that caused the problem by doing a binary search on your commits. Git hooks can automate tasks like code linting, testing, and formatting before you make the commit. This ensures that the code base maintains high quality and consistency. If you find yourself typing long git commands, you can create aliases for them, like gc for git commit, gl for git log, and so on. Some of these techniques can significantly boost your productivity and help you navigate large code bases faster. Importance of code reviews. One of the most important things I have learned is the value of code reviews. Code review means somebody else looking at your code and giving you feedback before it goes into the main project. Now this is very important for a few reasons. First and the most obvious, it helps you catch mistakes you might have missed. Even the best coders make mistakes and somebody else might be able to spot them very quickly. Second, code reviews help everyone learn. When you review each other's code, you get to understand different ways of solving the problem and understand the project better. Here is the big tip. Do not take code reviews personally. Early in my career, I was working on a project and I thought my code was perfect. But when I gave it for review, my teammates pointed out several errors. Initially, I felt a bit defensive and I thought they were criticizing me. But they were just trying to make the project better. When someone suggests changes to your code, they are not saying you are a bad coder. Maybe you are. But the goal here is to improve the project and not to criticize you. So when you get a feedback, use it as a chance to learn and grow. Building meaningful connections. Something that is very important but often overlooked is networking. For me, the connections I made early in my career were invaluable. It really helps if there is someone you can always reach out to whenever you are stuck with something. Building a strong network can open doors to new opportunities, provide different perspectives, and offer support during challenging times. So take the time to attend meetups, participate in hackathons, and join communities like Airtribe. Personally, that's our vision for starting Airtribe. We wanted to ensure that no matter at what stage you are in your career, you always have someone just a message away for guidance and support. But before we end, I want to share a little secret with you. I have spent a decade in engineering and there are a lot of things I still do not know. But I constantly try to learn something new and that keeps my passion for engineering alive and helps me grow. And that's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.